Hey everyone, this is Nick, and today I'll be reviewing LEGO City's Police Patrol Boat, set number 60277, and I'm pretty sure this set came out this year, 2021, and I will be reviewing it, and you guys will see. I'll do a brief comparison at the end of the video with another boat that I have from LEGO 10 years ago. The set overall is pretty okay. You do get a lot of play value, a fair amount. It's just a shame they couldn't give you more, but yeah, you do get a fair amount. And if you're a massive city fan, you probably would like this set. Or if you're a boat fan like me, you probably like it too. And this boat can float. And you guys will see that later on in the video. So some general thoughts. And let's get to the LEGO set review. So first we have the main part of the build, which is the boat. So let me just show you. Overall, I think it looks very good, actually. When I first looked at it, it didn't look as good as I thought, because I think aesthetically speaking, it's just a bit, I think it looks a little bit too bulky on the box, which I'll get to when I talk about the design of the box. But let me just show you guys that you see that space right there is only, if you guys can see that, that's only like, I think 6 studs wide, which is very tiny, I think, for the, for the offset to the floor there. Very, very small, I think. And yeah, it's not the greatest. So now I'm gonna show you some of the play feature that you're gonna have with the set. But stability wise, it is very stable. You're not really gonna get wobbly. It's very stable on the ground. As you can see the bottom, I'll show you. So overall, I would say there's 3 major play features with this. So I think the first, very obvious, actually is right here in the front. This is a 360 rotating system where it's able to launch a net. Let me show you guys. Let me just pull that out right there. Show you guys just a very simple, pretty small but pretty big for my hand actually. Net that you can just roll and place it inside here. Once this is leaned all the way back, you can just do this and it just shoots like that. Very simple. I gotta say that doesn't work that well. So if we place, this minifigure right there, he's one of the criminals, and we just place this net inside and try that. I've tried this many times, it never works really. And you see how this lever here actually has a way where you have to pull it all the way back. You hear that click sound, and that's where it's all the way functional. You can like leave it halfway if you want, you can, but this is for the full power. And my aim isn't great, but see, it just flings out like that. Jeez, that's even worse than when I did practices with it. But yeah, this system, I'm not a huge fan with it. I think the idea is very nice, of course. Let's get closer, but jeez, that's pathetic. But I'll try one more time, and if I just fail, you guys can let me know in the comments if you guys do this very well. Ooh, I mean, that's not bad. So that's the first part of the feature. Not great, but it has its purpose, and maybe I'm doing something wrong, and you guys can tell me. But the second part of this is you see right here on top of the boat. Oops. That was not meant to be up, but yeah, as you guys can see, this is actually the second feature of the set, and it's also where the drone, it's one of the mini builds on the side. You can just place the drone there, and it's like a landing spot for the drone. But at the same time, if you take that off, it takes off very simple, because it's just, you see, it's just held by that one stud right there. So if you put that to the side, and this spot actually, if you guys can look closer, is actually where the prisoner is held. Let me see if I can see on the side. You can kind of see it. And let's put our Hank. Pretty sure that's his name. I'm gonna do the minifig review in a second, but you guys see that you can put him very easily in there if your hands are long enough, which fingers are long enough, which I can't. I'm just gonna make him stand there. Hey, we got it. But yeah, there's a little bit of problem if you try to put him in that way. Now I'm gonna mention the basically the third feature, which is actually around the back. I'll open that up for you guys in a second. But you see this here, right here? This is actually this spot actually is your landing spot for the little police. I don't really know what to call it. One of the vehicles on water that you chase the criminal with. It's also held by that one stud. And the way to place this the best is if you place that anti-stud on top of there. Took me a while in the build video to figure out how to actually place it on there. Made me look pretty dumb, but yeah, that's how you do it. And once you have this thing, you can just do this. Flip the vehicle. I think it works better than the front net. See, that works okay, I think. Here is our police officer on the vehicle, and if we just do that, whoops. You see, that could happen, guys, sometimes, that the if this little turning part is upside here, then it would not work. You have to place this, make sure it's underneath the little vehicle, and you just do that. Works pretty well. Sorry for the loud noise. Yeah, this part right here actually you don't really fit minifigs in there, but you can if you want, I guess. You can always, of course, take these off, which were the, original, I guess, life safety, parts. You can always take these off and put them on a minifig if you want, which are nice, I think. So now, let's take a look at the part where you can actually take this piece off very easily. It's just connected actually by these two studs right here. As you guys can see. And that's actually a pretty large space, better than I expected. And you see a little coffee mug there with some nice print. That is a printed piece right there. The control panel, which looks very nice. And and if you turn it around, you actually have another printed piece right there. And that is actually a little bit of a different printed piece to the other one. And that's where you place the captain. Windshield piece looks pretty good. On the sides, obviously, you have this police shark sticker where, your shark goes. On the, it's interesting because on the placement, on the manual, nor on the box, they show where the shark is living inside the boat, which I assume technically would be like underneath here, but, obviously that's not really feasible. I guess this does open up and you can put them in there, but I wouldn't suggest you doing that unless you carry this around. You can place them on probably just like that. And it works pretty, whoops. And it works pretty well, I think, actually. You can still place minifigs in there. Not a big deal. And I don't think this part can come off, which is a bit annoying now that I think about it, because you can't really fit your figs in there in any other way, except for, although this can come off very easily. So if you want to be able to have some sort of you know, way of going inside. You can open that all the way up and you can try to fit more minifigs in there. And also, actually, this, you know, there's a little feature here where you can turn 360 around. It's just a Technic piece, and yeah, just held by that single part right there. And obviously on the sides, you've got your walkie. Standard is just held by one clip, which I'm not a fan always, but you've got these two speakers you can use. You can pull them out pretty easily. You've got two handcuffs right there, also held by single clips, which is pretty useful. You do get another one, as I will show you in the extra pieces, but these two are, you know, part of the set. And you get a flashlight. Oops. And you get a flashlight, and which is very interesting how Lego does it now, you know, because I remember they used to just have a stud on top of there, but now it's flat, which I hope that's a flashlight. And you know, for this part, I forgot to mention, you know, you can have your minifigs standing there. You know, not great because these are all flat studs, so you can't really have the minifigure angle with this, where this is 360, but your minifig obviously can't move 360 unless it's placed on only one stud. You can kind of try to have a good pose like that, but you know, if you want it to be behind this, it's kind of annoying. I guess that's the best I can get. You know, looks intense. The main part for the bow, I think, is always the ability it can flow, and also just the amount of things it can carry, you know, all your figs and stuff. And yeah, and I still love these wind pieces. Let me put this back on. And the this is a sticker, and besides these two stickers as you see on either side, that's another one, and that's it. There's only 3 stickers in this set, which I'm very happy about. I guess I forgot to mention, you get another one of these printed piece right here, and you can put your fig in there. Yeah, and that's the main build. Let's take a look at the side builds now. So here is the main little side build that you get on the side, which is one of the which is the criminal's vehicle. And as you guys can see, it's very, very simple, but I actually really like the design of it. It looks very, very nice. And I'm not really sure what these are for. I guess they're like handles for controls. Yeah, and it's a very, very simple boat. There has got a propeller on the side. Doesn't really turn. Doesn't want to turn very well, but yeah, it's got that. Some useful pieces, I think, if you want to do your own thing. Looks pretty good, and the red, I do like it. And on the side, attached to it, is actually a little safe. And the idea is, you know, you turn this, and then you press the right key, and then you turn this, and then you open it up, and whoa, you get 4 gold bars. They're the regular gold that Lego has. Good to see that the color was not off on these. Although I guess getting the other gold would be better. You know, this still is fair. And you get 4 of these. And there's no extra pieces. You guys will see that. But yeah, very, very simple. But I think this works pretty good. Let me show you placing a minifig inside. You're supposed to lean this guy back. You see that part, you can perfectly fit him in there. And you know, you can place him like that. Yeah, I don't play around too much with Lego, so apologize if I seem a bit uneducated on all the ways you can play with the set. But yeah, it looks pretty simple. This opens up very easily and fits pretty well. You shouldn't get too much problem of it just, you know, cracking in. You see, like, it just slides in like that. Overall, it should be pretty stable as long as you don't, you know, squeeze it too hard. So this is the best of the side build, and it's the biggest one. Let's take a look at the other one. Okay, so as you guys can see, I already showed this in the main part of the build. But yeah, this little thing looks very simple. But I think it actually works, and the fact that this is a printed piece, I think, will win a lot of people over. especially me. The only shame is that it's offset. The whole piece, I think, is actually offset printed, which is a shame. You see, that's not centered. But yeah, and the best way to hold a minifig is the way I have it here. That's how they have it on the manual. If you guys don't know, this is like one of the ways that Lego do their, you know, figure holding the vehicle thing, where it's just, you can't really let him sit there, because if you let him sit there, his hand won't be able to reach the handle. Also, I just want to briefly mention how this actually is able to fit in here perfectly, even with the guy on top of the little vehicle, and with the fins on, you can perfectly place him just on the side, as you can see, and then you can place him on still without a problem, or should not be a problem. And this thing should still work on either side. Perfect. Now, I think this final side build is actually really interesting, because it's a drone and it shows our technological world that we are living in right now. It's got 3 basic simple propellers on the front, well, on the top technically, and these can actually oops. You can see that doesn't hold very well. Kind of strange how they do the build right there, because I think, well, although that's probably the only way how they can do the build, because that piece is able to go through the you see the hole right there, the slot right there. So, and obviously this is the camera that the drone has. This can, of course, as I said, go 100, almost 180 degrees. And I think you place it all the way to like this. I mean, it looks interesting. Doesn't look much like a drone, but it looks interesting. This is the final side build. Simple, but I like it. Now, with the main part of the set out of the way, let's take a look at the minifigures. So the first one here is called Hacksaw Hank. And it's the full name is Police Crook Hacksaw Hank. But this is, I guess, the main bad guy in the boat. So this is what the police are trying to go for. Looks like he's wearing like a sort of sports jacket. Yeah, hairpiece is interesting. I haven't got one of these before, so it's nice to see this sort of hairpiece. He does have an alternate face. That's his. I think this face print is a little bit better, because it looks a little bit, you know, scarier, I guess. It looks like the eyebrows actually is a bit off-centered, which, I mean, could happen in real life with real people, but yeah. And one thing I want to point out is just a shame that Lego never really have, you know, they really only have one color for their torso, because look at the white in the front. It looks pink. It actually looks a little bit better on camera than in real life, but yeah, it looks very, well, not very, but it looks fairly pink. If you look at the back, see that 75? Looks pretty good. But the front just looks a bit, yeah, lacking. But overall, it's a decent minifig, I guess. And, you know, double face is always nice. Now, this is the second minifigure in the set. And his name is Frankie Lupelli. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sounds like a Italian last name, but I'm not sure. This is a better figure than the last one, I think. Just look at the overall print on the torso. Looks very good. See that silver is shining on this torso, and the legs are actually, I'm pretty sure that's like a, I think Lego calls it like metal gray or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah. It looks good, and I definitely like the hands with the darker red compared to the bright red shoulders and arm. Or technically there's no shoulder really for Lego minifigs. And oh, look, he's actually wearing the black covering his identity, which I'm assuming he's actually a undercover robber working with the previous guy, which is Hank. Yeah, again, I'm not really familiar with the TV series. So I don't know if this is exactly what happens with the show or with the person, but yeah. One thing I would say, it looks very interesting with the double, because obviously he's got a headgear and the goggles comes off like this, so it looks kind of interesting that he's kind of like wearing double eyewear. And here is the back of the minifigure, and the back torso looks fairly okay, I think. Also, I want to just briefly mention that he has the red flippers on the bottom of his legs. Here is our third minifigure of the day, and he doesn't really have a name. I think he's just a generic character, but yeah, he's just called Police Stash City Officer Dark Blue Diving Suit. And then he has a bunch of other little tags after the name, which I'm not gonna speak all of it out, but as you can see, the torso looks fairly good. You see that sand green and the silver. Very basic again with the legs. I mean, I don't think Lego have got to improve on their city legs in this you know, new era of their designs, but yeah, they're improving, I think, recently, but overall it's not been fantastic, but it's been all right. The face is very generic, I think. Doesn't have a dual face. It doesn't have another face, I don't think, but let me just take off the headgear so you guys can see it a little bit better. His face, you can see his chin. Let me just turn around. Yeah, he doesn't have another face. And let's take out the oxygen tank so you guys can see his back, which looks like that. This guy actually also comes with the slippers, which are, I think that's called light yellow, although I'm not sure. Here is our second to last minifigure, and her name is Police Officer Gracie Goodhart. That's her name, or maybe it could be Grazie. I'm not sure. We already have like an Italian last name in this set, so. But yeah, anyway, she is actually very interesting because she also got another printed face. I think this face is a little bit better because it's got the, I think those are sunglasses, although I'm not sure. You know, they could be like technological tracking glasses, maybe. But she's got a very generic back with the police, and you see the silver actually shining on the torso, which looks fairly nice again. And the hairpiece, also haven't got that one before, although I'm pretty sure that's pretty common nowadays. The legs, once again, not a huge fan, just generic black legs. But here's her without the life vest, and also the another face. You see she's got the freckles and she's smiling pretty happy. Maybe she's caught all the criminals. It looks like she's you know, got another vest on, and she's wearing suit underneath. And here is our last minifigure of the day, and his name, well, he hasn't got one either. He's a generic character, and his name is just Police City Officer, shirt with dark blue tie and gold badge. And then it's got a bunch of other name attached to him, which are just describing what he's wearing and what he looks like. This back I actually really like because you can see the walkie he has right there. I know it's generic and basic, but that does look nice. And once again, the silver shines. I think he's got like a sort of brown belt of some sort. Let's take out the, obviously he doesn't have another face because he's wearing a hat, so it'd be strange to show the other face. And he's got a little mustache, and he wears another one of these life vest pieces, which is really interesting. And here is the figure, front printed torso, and you see there's actually the gold also shining on it. There we go. Fixed it. He wasn't standing straight. But yeah. And here is our last minifigure, or should I say animal. Our first animal and only animal in this set, and it's a very generic a shark. I mean, it could be a great white. It probably is. But yeah, it's a generic shark. It could be a beef shark. We don't know. You know, very simple. Not much to say about it. Yeah, and his mouth can open up like that. And you see the chomping motion going like that. Always good to get a Lego animal though. And that's all we have for the minifigures and creatures. In total of 5 plus 1. And here is a picture of all 5 of the minifigures plus the shark. And just wanted to also mention that out of the 5 minifigures, I am fairly certain that all 4 of the ones to the right, except for Hacksaw Hank, the leftmost one, all the other 4 are exclusive to this set, and obviously the shark is not exclusive because it's a pretty generic shark. And here is the sticker sheet for the set, which I'm very happy. There's just 3. As you can see, the major 2 are just on the side of the boat, are for the side of the boat, and the number 2 sticker is just for the badge of the police in the front head of the boat. And here are the extra pieces. Good thing is that there's a printed piece, as you can see, for the little bank, little safe, and the lightsaber handle, which looks good. And yeah, some very colorful pieces. Alright guys, welcome to the boat testing part of the video, where as you guys can see, I've loaded some of the water into my bathtub, and let's see what happens when we put the boat inside here. Here's the boat, and here's the magical moment, if it's gonna float or not. Let's just put it on there. There we go, floats. Pretty good, I think. Let's just see if it wobbles or whatnot. Try to do that. Okay. So, oh, and notice the actually there's a bit of an offset here. Let me just move the camera. So you guys can see it does actually sink for a little bit. You guys can see it sinks about just above the sticker. I think just above the underside of the sticker. You know, not fantastic. You know, I expected it to be a little bit better than that, to be fair, but guess Lego can still improve, but overall it can still float. Let's see. So it's able to move, for sure. I think if you spend a long time in the water, then the sticker, of course, eventually will be a little bit of a problem for that, but hopefully it's not a huge deal. And if you guys are wondering if the shark can float, let me just take out the shark with it. Move this here. Drop the shark. I mean, it kind of floats, but yeah, I mean, to be fair though, the shark wouldn't have its whole body above the ocean, would it? So, you know, that's not bad. Whether or not this will sink in a while, maybe if you got water inside there, it probably will, but overall it should be no problem. And this is just a very quick float test to see what happens when it's in the water, and not as good as I expected, but you know, it works. Hello, welcome back, and just obviously you guys saw all the parts of the set, and just want to talk about the capability of the displays versus play value here. Although this is, I want to mention 6+, so it's more towards play, so I'm not gonna be too harsh on the display value, although I think actually this set is pretty good for display. Just found out that you could place this figure on there, you know, with the fins here, as I showed you guys. Pretty cool. Shark is an added bonus like that. 5 minifigs. You know, I think definitely adds to the display value. I wouldn't suggest placing your figs in here if you want to display it, because you know, this part I mean, you could see it, but if you put it on the bottom of your shelf, you're not gonna see it whatsoever. If you place it on the top of your shelf like this, then maybe. Now that we talked about capability of display, let's talk about play. I think overall it's okay, and as I already told you guys, it's okay. Play, I think there's a fair amount, and because you do get quite a lot of extra accessories, I think that they could have not given you. Yeah, not great placing the minifigs in here, although on the manual it just says, you know, you can just drop him in there, drop the criminal in there. You don't have to let him actually sit down there, which, you know, for me, I'm not sure. I mean, I think, yeah, for a little kid, sure, that's fine. The drone is very good, I think, very interesting, very unique. I'm not sure if that's like the first or we've gotten plenty. For customization, I think, you know, you can probably customize the set a little bit better. I think this is decent. This is decent, but that is not good. It looks cool, I think. I'm not a huge fan of this blue piece underneath here. Should improve on that. The coloring isn't great on there. Alright guys, so now we're gonna briefly compare this city boat from this year and this one from 10 years ago, and just see if, you know, I'm just gonna let you guys know what my thoughts are, and whether or not, you know, I think this is an improvement to this one. And I can tell you that right now, and I don't think so. So first of all, I think I just want to talk about how long this boat is. As you guys can see on my screen right now, on your screen right now, I'm gonna put the dimensions for both that I measured. That this is a long, the one from 10 years ago is a longer and actually taller boat. They're actually the same width. They're the same width, but yeah, and the side build, I just wanted to mention that this is $40 though, and this is $60. So, you know, you're not gonna get a lot of pieces here. I think this only came with 170, where this came with 270. So the pieces, you have to consider that there. And then, you know, the side build, this is much bigger compared to this little tiny build. And this came with 5 minifigs plus the shark, and this only came with 3, one of them hiding underneath here. I like both boats, no doubt about that, but I still think the older one is a little bit better. I'll show you guys in detail just the little differences. Yeah, so here guys, I just wanted to briefly show you the little details that I mentioned in how you see this older one. We have a way bigger offset in terms of width spanning here, that it's 8 studs wide compared to the 6 here, which doesn't even look like 6. This looks like 4 for some reason. But the thing is, you can't really fit a minifig in there, as I already showed you guys in the set you know, showcase. This isn't the greatest place, and obviously this technically is the place to put your little vehicle. This, although, however, you can put way more stuff in here. There's a bed in there. I'm not reviewing this set, just so you guys know, but it's a little bit of a review, I guess, since I'm comparing. You know, I think this, see how long this boat is compared to this one. But yeah, so I think this is very good in terms of gives you a lot of space. The looks of it, especially, I'm personally not a huge fan of the bulkier look. I always like my ships to look like this, which is you know, way sleeker and longer. But also something to notice is that the bottom of this is much more contoured here, I think. And even though technically I think this has like the same style, you know, on the bottom. Oops, let's get that out of the way. This fits in with the contour, you know, of the edges here, which looks really good. And the bottom of this actually, you know, is very different But this makes me think about the new Hydra Bounty that Ninjago's coming out. You know, just very long and sleek, which I like. I think the Hydra Bounty has its problems though. I'll probably buy that set later on, but yeah, that set has its problems for sure, I think, by the looks of it. And this is a very good boat, and therefore I just think that even the windshield piece looks amazing, I think. And obviously, this is your place for your criminal. This is the place for the car. Sorry, the little criminal boat right in there. So, and I think that there's just a lot more accessible space. As I mentioned, you know, you can always take these off as accessories. And you got the captain, which got the very tiny windshield, which I actually really like compared to the, you know, captain of the boat here, where he has a very large windshield, exactly the same with this, although it gives you more value in terms of if you are buying this set to build your own stuff, you know, you get two big pieces like this that you can use. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and we'll get to the last part of the video, which is about price and value and worth. Now that you saw my comparison test and the float test, I think overall the price is for $60 is not there. I actually got this at Walmart on sale for $34.01, which is I think a really good bargain. But I think the correct price for this set would be somewhere close to $50. And if you can get it for $50, that would be good. And actually, Walmart, I think, is selling it online for $48. If you can get it on walmart.com, that would be good. And also check your local stores if, you know, you're really interested in buying it. And you might get a way cheaper price. Also, I wanted to mention forgot to mention this in the capability to play. I think you can carry this around, and because you can fit all of these things on here, except for this one, although you could probably find a way to squeeze it on. I think that's good if for a kid, if you want to carry it, you know, to your friend's house or whatever. That's good. And then we'll talk about the price per piece. Obviously, it's not great. Let me see. I think it's 276 pieces. You know, it's not great whatsoever for $60. That ratio is just, let's not look at it because it's ridiculous. But don't risk until Walmart clears everything out, even on their online stores, because I know that, but Amazon might still have it at 48. Now let's take a look at the final thing, which you can skip this part if you want to. Because I'm a designer, so I look at the box and also the manual design, and also how they can try to improve with that. Yeah, if you want to pick this set, especially if you're a Lego City fan, you should. At 48, I think it's fair. And yeah, it's a bit expensive at 60, very expensive in general for Lego. But yeah, see you guys next time. If you are not interested in the design with anything, I will talk about in a second. And yeah, let's get to that right now. So here I'm just wanted to show you guys the manual, and let me just very quickly let you guys know what my thoughts are. So in this set you get two, one smaller one and one larger one. And what surprised me about this is actually how it didn't have a number labeled to it, which it usually has, which is a bit of a surprise. Design on the back, you know, promoting their things. That looks, actually, this back design looks all right. Looks pretty good, I think. This front design, not so much. I'm not a entirely huge fan also of the coloring difference here. I don't know if it's a little bit harder to see on camera. On camera actually looks about the same, but in real life this is a much lighter sort of tone than this. I know, you know, in general there's a problem with printing blue in terms of RGB and CMYK values, but still I think Lego, come on, you know. And I know this is nitpicky, but you know, I think designing and production wise, the color here should be the exact same, and it isn't. It makes me feel like these are two different, you know, sets, with the larger menu here and the smaller menu here. You know, it does tell you it's number one, you know, whatnot. But yeah, I can't show you guys all of it. But the back is fair, I think. Pretty cool. Although I do think this manual is online, so design-wise, yeah, see, that's on the box. Looks good there. And then this larger one is just about the boat, basically. I like how they separate it out, but I still think they should have told you, labeled this as number 2 and labeled the other as number 1. You know, although you can build them at your pace, and shows you some of the features what you can do. As I mentioned, the 3 main features, and you know, that tells you how you flip the vehicle. And there's no promotion, just a, you know, standard back for Lego. And now let's get to the box. So last but not least, we have the box here, and I think overall it's fair. And because, you know, I got this on sale, the box isn't perfect. As you can see, there's squeeze here, but I'm just talking about the design. I'm not a huge you know, I'm not really familiar with the series, as they say on the back, so I'm not sure if this works well for the kids. This might do. I definitely think the design with the, you know, stepping pattern here is fair. It actually looks pretty good, but the way that this is portrayed, this feels like, you know, with so much going on the side, these things don't look like they're like underneath the ocean. Which could be a bit misleading, and I appreciate this though. Saying that the boat floats definitely adds, you know, to the value and makes people want to buy this a little bit more, compared to the, you know, little, you know, they have like a tiny message on the side that says boat does not float, which I will review. I have another little yacht I will review, and it also says, look, submarine and water scooter do not float. I appreciate that these two are next to each other, so when you see this, you might see this. But yeah, this is a little bit of a problem, I think, for some people. But yeah, so that's the front. Bottom, pretty normal. Let me see, have the side. I'll show you guys the back. See, there's that's the TV series that I mentioned. Not familiar with that at all, so you guys can tell me the story if there is one here. I think the back actually looks pretty good. Not a huge fan of the layout here, and that it just doesn't align, but yeah. And not a fan of this press to open system that Lego are doing for so long. Still not a fan. Not great. But yeah, and this shows you the feature. You know, you can place them in there. As I showed you, this does not work well. That's not great either. If you want to fit your hand in there, if you're an adult, that's okay. And yeah, and that's like a back view of the ship. And then you have the side, the right side of the box. And lastly, to show you the top, you know, has all 5 figs, you know, plus the scale figure. So yeah, overall the box is okay, but I think this could always be improved. The label of boat floats can always be improved, although it's already better than most sets there are. So I think the red actually fits very well with the Lego logo up there, which it doesn't matter. If it doesn't do that, it's fine either way. And I just realized this is actually a 5+ set, but same thing apply. You know, I mentioned it was 6+, but it doesn't really matter, 5 or 6. So yeah, that's about all the stuff I wanted to talk about for the boat. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, tell me you know, in the comments what you think, and if you will buy it, if you won't buy it, and tell me why, and just be respectful. This does look good though, and it looks better than I thought. I'm actually very happy because of the price that I gotten it at. But if you don't get it at that price, if you only get it at 48, there's nothing to feel sad because the value is there. And if you play around with it a lot, you definitely feel 48 is a good price. Let me know what you think of the review slash the build. You know, if you guys really are interested with the build, I will keep the build video for my future videos. But if you guys are not really interested, I'll just have the review because the build video actually takes a while to edit and everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My second video will be Lego Ninjago Legacy Ninja Charger. It's a very good looking set, so I'm excited to build that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, thank you. See ya.